EDventures. Hello, everybody. It's good to see you, even though you're not seeing me right now. Ha ha. So we've been thinking of some ideas, some other things to share with you at the zoo, beyond just the critters. What can you see when you come? And Sandra had a great idea. Sandra said, let's show them the wetlands. Right, Sandra?
Right. Wetlands are so cool.
I agree, 100%. Megan's on an amazing wetland plant right now. The cattail over there. Your Zoo Adventures team today is going to be Steve in front of the camera. Who's with me right now?
Sandra.
Who's going to be in front of the camera a little bit. Who's behind the camera right now?
Megan.
Megan's going to do both today. Sandra's going to do both. If they don't ever let me behind the camera, that's probably a good idea. Although I can, not the best in front of the camera either. But c'est la vie. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk to you about wetlands, show you some wetland animals, talk to you about the role of wetlands, why they're so important. This is a great idea, Sandra.
Well, thanks, Steve. I think wetlands are awesome because they're so important to our environment.
Right. And there's so many neat jobs that they do. And we think about animals having a job, having a niche. Wetlands do as well. It's really cool. Let's see if we can find some animals for you. Megan, with your amazingness, let's see if we can find some critters. Can you find anything? We are at a wetland. Get this, gentlemen, ladies, people, folks, at the North Carolina Zoo.
Wait.
True.
We have a turtle over here.
You found the duck. You found the duck. That's a magic duck.
Steve.
Yeah?
It's not a real duck. I hate to disappoint you.
It's not a real duck?
No, it just goes in circles all day with the current, and it's
duck.
Fake duck. Yeah.
Not a real duck.
Sorry,
That's
fake duck.
right.
But there's some real fish and real turtles right here.
Megan,
The one animal you spotted
wasn't a real duck.
was fake.
Fake. No. See if you can do any better. But you guys, what do you guys think? You smarty pants. Can you all find real animals? You see clouds? That's called a reflection.
Nice.
You see anything down there? I see. Is that a real turtle?
That's a real turtle.
Whew.
Yes.
Just checking.
turtle.
Right down below you.
The clouds are in the way. Oh, I see it. Wow.
Now you see it?
Yep. Got it.
That is a real red-eared slider.
Those are some big fish underneath there.
I don't have any idea what those kind of fish are. I bet they're bluegill-ish. What do you think? Bluegill-ish?
Bluegill-ish, yes.
This is what you see right as soon as you come into the park, digital friends. But this is right here. These are all wild spaces within the zoo.
They're awesome. They're awesome. And the lily pads are getting ready to be blooming soon.
That's right. They're beautiful. Pinks and whites. It can be stunning to see. And if you look around, you can see how many there are here. Sandra, you saw some dragonfly earlier.
Yes.
There goes one. I don't know that Megan can. He's pretty fast. Do you know dragonflies are predators?
Oh, yes.
They're hunters. They're like the jet fighters. Zoom, 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 catching food on the wing. Sometimes even eating it on the wing. But we really wanted to bring this to you early, digital friends. But this is really cool. And something different and something unique that we could bring to you from the North Carolina Zoo that we're lucky enough to have.
It's quite the treat coming across the North American Bridge and seeing all the wildlife and the aquatic plants as you're coming into the zoo before you even see the other animals.
Right? Bet we should know that fish. Megan, you probably can't get it. It has red fins.
Red fins.
I bet we're supposed to know that fish. Is it a red fin fish, Megan asks?
This fish has a black spot right behind its eye.
I bet that's a bluegill. I'm going with bluegill on that one.
Bluegill, very good.
But I don't, this one, are you on that one, Megan?
The long one?
Not the long one,
The
but
one
this.
that's sitting still?
No, the one in front of it.
Where?
Right here.
Oh, yeah, the long one.
Oh, it was a long one? Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
It has a very light side. It's dark on the top, but then look at the speckles on the back. Whoops.
Yeah. I don't know what it was.
I don't know.
Now he's gone.
It's under, yeah.
But, oh, now he comes back. So yeah, this is something, and what we're going to do next with y'all is we're going to share some of the jobs that a wetland is part of. And again, have some animals to share with you in just a little bit. Hang tight. So I guess before we get too much deeper into wetlands, we should define what a wetland is. It is what it is, right? The words are telling you. It's a wetland. It is a place that always has water at some point or another during the year. So the soil is sometimes saturated within the season. That kind of defines a wetland. Now there's several types of wetlands. So there's marshes, there's bogs, fens, all kinds of different types of wetlands out there. So when you hear the term, you got to kind of keep your mind open to what it means. Marshes, swamps, bogs, those are some of the ones that we're pretty familiar with here. Swamps often defined by one predominant tree or plant. Marshes a little bit more marshy, a little bit more understory and all. But one of the most important things to remember about a wetland is that their job is to
Take a bath.
well, yeah,
Give baths.
yes, provide a bath to the environment. It's keeping the environment clean, just like soap. Just like soap does. They keep the environment clean. So, we're going to dive into several ways that wetlands are important to us, several of their jobs, some of their roles in the world. And going to be using some common tools, maybe to help it stick as to why wetlands are important. Hang tight and check these out. Sandra.
Yes.
That's one of the dragonflies you saw.
It is. It is.
Is that a darner of some sort?
It looks like a green darner.
I'm not 100% sure. I don't know my dragonflies that well. There's so many of them.
There are.
But that's one of them. Got a bunch flitting around. Oh, there goes a gray catbird. I know that one. I'm better with feathers and I'm better with fur and I'm okay with scales. But exoskeletons, not so much.
Not so much.
Not so
No.
much. Do you have any idea?
Nope.
You neither? Oh, well. But pretty. How's the shot?
Pretty.
Pretty. Cool. Right here at the Wetlands, North Carolina Zoo. Anyway, while Megan shows you that, I'll grab something real quick. Talk about one of the jobs that you can wetlands do for you, for me, for other animals. A couple easy jobs first. Where should we stand, Megan? You can still get a pretty picture behind us. Right here? We have two important things. We have two important tools. Check these tools out. What do you have?
I have a sponge.
A sponge. What do I have?
A strainer.
I agree. I don't know what that is. But so these are some of the jobs that a wetland does. Do you know why we have a sponge, Sandra?
When it rains, the wetlands water sticks to water.
Yeah.
And it holds it really well and it slowly then releases it back out into the environment, lessening the damage from things like floods and these thunderstorms that we've been having in the afternoons.
Yep.
They give us 1.5 inches, 2 inches of rain really, really quick. Well, wetlands help hold that water and then slowly release it to reduce the risk of flooding and severe injury to the lands around the wetlands.
Huge with hurricanes.
Yes.
So when you lose the hurricanes on the coast, I love what you said, that it releases it slowly back out. So it kind of holds on to the water and then it releases it slowly back out into the thing. So wetlands act as a sponge,
Yes.
which is kind of cool. And then this is a strainer. So wetlands act as a strainer as well. Do you know why they act as a strainer?
Because the aquatic plants kind of filter out some stuff that shouldn't be in the water.
Yeah, they can actually hold on to pollutants in the water. Now, they can't do all of them, so that's why we can't pollute these willy-nilly. And I know you don't, digital friends. I know you don't do that. But even accidental pollutants, they're able to hold on to some of them, so they're actually straining out some of those bad things. Oh, baby turtle!
Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness.
Even the turtle's getting strained through the...
Looks like he is. Megan said, I had the microphone on the wrong side. Megan said, even the turtle's getting strained through the grass. Did you get that? Were you able to get it,
I
Megan?
did. I
Oh,
did.
sweet. I didn't.
Yay.
Baby turtle. Sorry. Anyway, what were we talking about?
the strainer.
Oh, I'm
and-
holding it. Yeah,
yes.
the strainer. So yeah, that's what they do. They strain out some of the toxins from the water. So wetlands so important. They act as a sponge for one. They act as a strainer for. What did you go get?
I have a baby bottle. You
You-
just saw the baby turtle.
You do have a baby bottle. Oh, great connection.
So what's the job of the baby bottle? What's up with that with wetlands?
So we just kind of saw it. So a lot of animals give birth in the wetlands. There's a lot of food. There's a lot of cover. There's a lot of safety in some of those wetlands. So a lot of animals give birth in the wetlands to be able to take care of their offspring. A lot of birds will give birth, and when they'll hatch out their babies in the wetlands. So it's all, they almost act like a nursery. That's why the bottle.
Okay.
So the wetlands act like a nursery in many, many ways. It's kind of cool. That was kind of fun to see the baby turtle.
That was
kinda neat.
very cool.
Just so it really works. So okay, we have three. We have a strainer, we have a sponge, we have a baby bottle. So sponge, hold on to big rainfall, big water events, and release it slowly back out. Strainer, keeping some of the water clean for the animals and for us.
That's important.
And they act as a nursery for many animals, giving birth and letting the offspring grow up in a more safe environment. We have anything more, Sandra?
Let me go see.
Sounds good. Hang tight.
All right, Steve. We're clearly in the wetlands.
Well, yeah.
All of these plants, I mean, the lily pads, the cattails, that
Yep.
all makes perfect sense.
They sure do.
What about this guy over here with the hat? Is that really supposed to be here?
With a hat. Excellent observation, Megan.
Thanks.
Great observation. That is a pitcher plant. And not like I was a pitcher in baseball,
Got a picture of tea?
but a pitcher of tea.
Oh.
You kind of see how it looks a little bit like a pitcher?
Oh,
Almost
I
has a
see.
little lip on it and everything.
Yeah.
That is a carnivorous plant.
That means that it eats meat. I'm sorry, plants like eat sunlight,
Right?
not meat.
They tend to turn sunlight into energy. But where do they get a lot of the nutrients from? Not the sun, but the,
The dirt?
yeah, exactly, the soil.
What?
So in a lot of places, wetland soil isn't real nutritious. So they've actually got to get their nutrients somewhere else. So plants like the pitcher plant, you might have heard of Venus flytraps, maybe you've heard of sundew. They get the nutrients they need to survive from bugs, from insects, sometimes even larger animals if it's a large pitcher plant. So they catch their prey. It's kind of weird to think about. But at the bottom of that pitcher is a sweet smelling nectar. The insects are attracted to that, and they get on the top of the pitcher and they go straight down looking for the nectar. But unfortunately for them, the nectar is a digestive juice.
Ew.
Yeah, right. No, I agree. So the plant digests the insect for the nutrients. Why doesn't the insect just run away and fly out? Unique design. Inside the pitcher are hairs, and all of those hairs point down the throat of the pitcher plant. So the insect can't crawl out.
But
And-
why does it have a hat?
Why does it have a hat? I guess I should have addressed the hat.
Yeah.
It's more to keep moisture and other water from falling in there, to keep that the digestive juices less dilute. You want to make sure you have the
Oh.
strong juices as much as you can.
So it's not really for holding the food in.
No.
It's for keeping the
Keeping stuff
water and
out.
stuff
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So just a little side note here.
Yes.
You might not want to get much closer, friend.
No.
You see the dragonfly?
No.
blue? He's right there.
Yes.
See the blue? He's getting kind of close to the pitcher plants. Oh, okay, good. He flew away.
I think his buddy knew.
Good.
All about wetlands today and their role. It's so important to have them out there. So we've really got to be cognizant, got to be aware of their job. Now here, look at the beauty that's found first. I mean, this is another reason we like wetlands. I mean, they're just beautiful, right? Colors, stunning, many, many times. So just for a purely intrinsic value, wetlands score really high, at least to me. I'd rather see this in a parking lot in many instances. I don't know about you all. What do you think, digital friends? Wetlands, parking lot. I get it. Parking lots are important in some places. But wow, it's hard to beat a wetland for color and appearance, moving water, the smell. It's just amazing space. But something else we're talking about is the job of wetlands. And how about this for a job?
Coffee?
Kinda? It's a filter. So kind of like the strainer a little bit ago, the filter is going even finer to get rid of those pollutants, to get rid of that bad junk in the water. I think it's kind of cool to think that wetlands have all these other jobs and roles and duties, so to speak, in the natural environment. One of the jobs of the wetlands is to act as a filter, keeping the water as clean as possible, holding back some of those pollutants, some of those toxins. Oh, beautiful. Alrighty, wetlands. Yeah, this is a creek, so it's not maybe quite the same thing, but wetlands do a really important thing. So where this creek is going to go down, and there are some wetland kind spaces, there's beautiful grasses next to it. You see some really cool trees that are here. It's also emptying in. Megan, can you show them where it's emptying into? Can they see it from where you are down there?
Yep, we see the shining lake.
Shiny lake, yeah. So it's emptying into that. So another really important job of wetlands is that they're mixing up nutrients, food, waters from one place into another. It's where plants are coming together and mixing, water is mixing, nutrients are mixing, animals are mixing. So it's a great place for that. And some of you may be familiar with that sound. Megan, let's show them what we're playing with. I have a toy. How many of you all have a mixer like that? Have a hand mixer?
Steve, there's such a thing as electricity.
Might be the only exercise I get today. So yeah, another really important job of wetlands is to act as a mixing place, bringing water, nutrients, animals, plants, all of that together in one space. So another metaphor for the job of wetlands, mixers. Megan just made a really good point. She said, it's amazing what nature will do when you leave it alone. And look at this beautiful space. Can you see all the activity? I know it's small. A lot of it's insects. Maybe we've built up enough trust that I can tell you there are bees and beetles, dragonflies, damselflies, butterflies. We've seen frogs jumping. So another thing, an easy thing for wetlands, is just life. Life happens in these spaces. So they're really important just for that simple reason. Beyond the metaphors we've talked about, beyond the job or the role that wetlands kind of do out there, they're just responsible for so much life. I think the bullfrog agrees. So it's crazy what all happens. And we're just at the edge of the Africa Lake at the North Carolina Zoo. And around me, I've got Japanese beetles. I have bumblebees just around me right now. I have a dragonfly. deer track, says Megan. I see swallowtail butterflies. It's crazy that when these are active, that's what's going on. But another kind of important role of wetlands can be seen with me right now.
Wake up.
I almost could fall asleep. Pillow, they're like a stopover spot. They're a resting spot for a lot of animals when they're migrating and moving around. So being able to rest and still be safe, find food, another really important job of wetlands is to be that resting spot. But wow, just to see all the life here right now, there's not a whole lot of resting going on at this point. Really active. But another role of wetlands is that stopover spot, especially for migrating animals.
One really cool thing I like is we always see the really pretty parts, the really pretty bright flowers and greenery. But even if we look down, these are tracks. Like there's animal prints down here. There's life going on in the what we might consider gross, dirty mud. So yeah.
All right, let's wrap up wetlands from the North Carolina Zoo with your Zoo Adventures team today. What is a wetland? They're so important. And that role, the reason they're important is so varied. They are all about keeping the environment clean. The soap, keeping the environment clean in general. How does it do it? Well, one way is it acts like a mixer in the world out there. It's mixing in nutrients where two water places are coming together maybe, putting some oxygen into the water as well, mixing up the nutrients for the animals that are living or even the plants as well. It's also a strainer. It's getting rid of sediment. It's getting rid of larger silt and deposits, kind of holding those and trapping them so they don't get into the waterways. But there are smaller particles, smaller pollutants that are getting in there. So the filter is also a really important role in the wetlands of today. Remember, wetlands are marshes, bogs, swamps, different places that are going to be covered with water at least partially one time throughout the year. And then they are a sponge, not for soaking up information like you all are doing right now. At least I hope some of you are. But they're soaking up water and then releasing it slowly back into the ecosystem. They also act as a place for migrating birds to rest, to sleep, to have a break where there's food. There's also some other things they're able to take advantage of. They can hide in that wetland.
Steve?
Yes, we're wrapping up. What's up?
I'm pretty sure we forgot something. At least one thing.
We did?
Yeah, it's remember the baby turtle? Like
Oh,
the tiny ones?
The babies.
Yeah.
What was I thinking? We did see that little baby. That was a great capture for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, we forgot about the bottle. So there's babies in there too. A lot of hatching, a lot of births being given in wetlands as well. So another reason they're so vitally important. And there's other ones. They almost act as a hotel for animals, as a stopover space. And then for you and me, wow, food dependence as well. A lot of foods are grown in wetlands for human consumption. Phew, so much going on in wetlands. So I got to thank Sandra again for a wonderful idea of sharing wetlands with you all, our digital guests. I think we're wrapped up okay. So let's talk about one more time. Wetlands, amazing places. Your Zoo Adventures team today. Steve was in front of the camera. Sandra visiting for a little bit. Who was behind the camera today?
Megan.
And who was also in front of the camera a little bit today?
Megan.
Doing multiple roles. Digital friends, it's always so good to see you Wednesdays at 10 o'clock. We can't wait to see you again. Everybody stay safe. See you soon. Bye, y'all.